Hey everybody, Mr. Agnello here. It's the last day of school. No exams for me today, so I'm outside working. I got a big soccer camp coming up, so I got to keep up with the grass here. Keep it cut. I'm cutting at 4.5. Well, today I cut at 4.25 over here. I really should be cutting it around 3.25 just to get the grass short enough for the soccer camp. So I've been out here mowing. I mowed probably 4 out of 5 days last week. This week I'm gonna mow today and Friday, and then next week we'll mow again a couple times and then start doing some lining. I'm on the Tiger today, so it's a good day. I just wanted to stop and take a minute to talk about striping. So as you guys know, striping is just the bending of the grass and how the light reflects off of it. So light lines are bent away from us and the light is reflecting off the top, and then with the dark lines it's bent towards us, so we are looking into the shadows of the grass plants. So that's how striping works. This is our varsity baseball field. It's a pretty big field, and what I love about it is you can cut it in any direction. So I have a lot of options when I'm cutting this field, which is good because you don't really want to get in the habit of cutting the grass the exact same way every time. One big reason is because of the mower tracks. So if I cut the field every single week, twice a week at an angle like I have here, then the mower is always going in the same spots, and when you can see my tracks here, you know, I might start to get depressions and the field's going to go like this. So you want to alter your mowing direction so that way you're not always going in the tracks. So maybe just on game days I'm going to mow the field this way. Also with reel mowers, you want to avoid mowing the same way every time, just because the grass will start to grow in that direction, because it's always going to be pulled in that direction and you won't get as a high quality of cut. But with a rotary mower, that's not a big deal. But like I said, I'm worried about making depressions in the ground. So this field, like I said, I have options. Okay, so this is an angle. I love cutting at angles. It just makes everything look so good. I can also cut with the first base line here, you know, cut this way. I have stripes going out that way. I can cut along the third base line, so the third base line runs like this, so I can cut that way. Since baseball season was over the last couple weeks, I started cutting perpendicular to this angle. So let's see if we can see it here. You guys can kind of see my old tracks here. So I cut at an angle this way. When you are striping, you want to take into account where people are viewing from. So maybe for somebody's lawn, they'll be viewing from the street, and you want to make your stripes visible from the street. With this field here, the reason I love cutting it at an angle, especially this way, is everybody can see it. So if you're down on the baseball field over here, you can see it. When you're sitting on those bleachers over there, you can see it because the lines are going away from you that way. When you're sitting over here on this hill, you can see it. So when striping, you really want to take in account your viewing area and where it's going to be seen from. That angle that's perpendicular to this, so that's going to go like this. I don't like to do that during baseball season because nobody's going to see it. So if I'm going to put all this, you know, time and effort into making nice stripes, I want people to see it. And, you know, no one's viewing the game from over here and they're not going to see the lines. same thing. No one's way out in left field there to see the lines. So you want to make sure you have a viewing point where you can see them from. Another thing is, let's just say you have a machine that doesn't track straight and you're not too confident that your lines are going to be perfectly straight. You know, maybe you don't mow from from a direction where everyone's going to see it. Just because, you know, when I'm mowing at an angle like this and everyone's watching the game from the hill up here, they're looking at the field, your lines better be straight. Otherwise, you're going to catch some flack. So if I was not confident in my lines, I probably would have cut the field this way with the first baseline, so that way not everybody could see it. I've had to do that at a couple places. I've worked for this one person. Their walk behind did not track straight, and it was really hard to make the line straight, so I didn't I cut it differently, just in a different direction. I'm gonna try to pop around the field here so that we can get some different views of this cut. So I'm out in the middle of the baseball field, right at second base. The picture is directly behind me, so again, you can see how that field looks. From here, it looks good. So now I'm behind third base right here. A lot of people like to sit on this hill, so again, they can see the stripes from here. It looks pretty good. And I suppose if you were to cut it this way too, a lot of people would be able to see the stripes. From here you could see the stripes if I were to cut parallel with the first baseline. Just the people on that hill would not be able to see them as well. So I'm going to shoot across the field over there. So now I'm over in right field. You can see my stripes going up the hill there. So even from the player's point of view, you know, while you're out in right field, no one's hitting the ball to you. You're just kind of standing around looking, you know. Wow, look at those lines. They look so good going up that hill from out here. There's a shot. Let's see if we can see it. It might be tough to see, but heading out that way is how I cut it last week. You can see the light and dark there. Again, you're not going to see that very well. Another quick thing that I learned from somebody on YouTube about striping is you always want the sun behind you. If the sun is in front of you, you're not going to see the lines as well. So right now I'm facing south. Granted, today it's pretty cloudy. But if it was sunny out today, I would not see the lines that good from here just because of the sun glare. They're not going to show up. The sun needs to be behind you in order to get, you know, the best striping effect. So that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe if you're mowing someone's lawn or your own lawn and you want it to look good, you know, keep in mind you want the sun behind you. That's when you're going to get your best viewing. Again, Mr. Agnello here, varsity baseball field, just talking about some striping and what I'm up to today. That's it for me. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll make some more videos here over the summertime. I more than likely will. So that's it for me.